Well, yesterday we saw the 118th Congress be inaugurated, and while the House of Representatives is the big story right now, it's time we finish up the 2022 election series on the Senate. Now, I think if we're all being realistic about this election, we can call it a mitigated disaster for Republicans. It could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better for them. But either way, let's start off with retiring incumbents, of which 5 of 6 seats were held by their incumbent party. Democrat Peter Welch of Vermont and Republicans Katie Britt of Alabama, Eric Schmidt of Missouri, and Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma all won their seats by very large margins. Additionally, Republican J.D. Vance held on to Rob Portman's seat in Ohio, and while it wasn't as competitive as polls suggested, Tim Ryan did hold his own in this Senate race. Additionally, Republicans held 2 seats in 2 big swing states, including in North Carolina, where U.S. Representative Ted Budd held Richard Burr's seat after retiring, and in Wisconsin, which was surprisingly close, where U.S. Senator Ron Johnson was held to a 1-point margin of victory by Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes. However, Republicans failed to capture the majority and gain any seats, including in Arizona, where Mark Kelly won by about a 5-point margin against Blake Masters. Maggie Hassan blew out Republican nominee Don Bolduc, solidifying the trend towards Democrats in New Hampshire. Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia won both a plurality on Election Day and won by 3 points in the runoff to defeat Herschel Walker. And while it's very possible that this solidifies the trend of Georgia becoming more Democratic, he also had help from Herschel Walker's numerous scandals during the campaign. In one of the biggest holds for Democrats and biggest failures for Republicans, incumbent Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada defeated Republican Adam Laxalt by about a point. Nevada was seen as one of the biggest targets for Republicans in 2022, not only on the Senate level, but for House seats and for the governorship. But while Sheriff Joe Lombardo kept margins close in both Washoe County and in Clark County, Adam Laxalt failed to do so, resulting in a loss. And finally, everyone knew this one was coming, but Republicans lost a Senate seat in Pennsylvania. With incumbent Republican Senator Pat Toomey retiring, Republicans turned to television personality Mehmet Oz to run for Senate. And frankly, Oz had trouble from the beginning. He barely won the primary against David McCormick, and recounts took 2 weeks to have him officially obtain the nomination. Oz's campaign was seemingly based on celebrity, and a lot of campaign tactics showed he was probably out of touch with the average Pennsylvania voter. Despite concerns about his health and polls tightening by the end, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman defeated Mehmet Oz, and not by a small margin either. Oz was rejected by voters by a 5-point margin, giving Democrats a 51-49 majority in the United States Senate.